I'm a little late to the party, I know, but guys, bear with me. I've had a lot going on and I had other videos that were in front of the line. Today we're gonna be talking about my niche for life list. That's right, 10 fragrances that I would keep if I could only keep 10 niche fragrances and I'd throw the rest away. First, I'd like to thank Big Beard B for extending the tag, and stick around to the end of the video so you can hear who I'm gonna tag and pass the tag train along. Stay tuned. What's up, YouTube? I'm Joshua as always, and this is your channel, Scentsense. To all my loyal subscribers, the guys who show up all the time and watch my videos, and the 1% demographic of females who keep coming by and showing your pretty faces, ladies, thank you, and fellas, thank you too. To all the new people who are checking out the channel for the very first time, humanoids, stick around and watch, for thy will be enraptured. No, really, just stick around. You might like the channel. I mean, just check it out. I mean, what's the big deal? Like, seriously? I mean, it's like 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes. Take a poop. Watch me. Every list is incomplete without an honorable mentions list, so here I'm gonna give you my honorable mentions for this list, and there's gonna be 5 of them. I know I had you going for a little while. You thought Josh was gonna sit here and ramble about each and every one. I'm not. I'm just gonna show you all 5 at the exact same time, guys. House of Creed. These 5 didn't make the cut, and yep, you do see Aventus. Moving on. When it comes to the Creeds, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you in suspense. First fragrance we're gonna talk about is the only one that I don't own a full-size bottle of, but I will own one very soon. My birthday's coming up, and my wife will probably buy it for me. That's a hint. Hey babe, I want Zoologist Camel. You heard right, guys. It's not bat, it's not panda, it's not hummingbird, or any of the other animal archetypes. The fragrance we're gonna talk about is camel. I have never been to the Middle East. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this fragrance is enrapturing and it inviting and it pulls you in and it gives you a taste of the Middle East. I have not a clue if that's what this smells like, but basically what I've been described that this smells like is that scene at the beginning of Aladdin, you know, when he's walking around and the guy's like, sugar dates, pistachios. That guy's selling dried fruits, and apparently that whole culture in that area and that whole distinct feel of that scene is kind of what this fragrance harkens to. I love everything about it because it's a fruity fragrance, but it's not a super sweet and cloying and in-your-face fruity fragrance. It's more of a dense and seductive and heavy fruit fragrance. I love everything about this. It's warm, it's inviting, and you're not gonna smell like anybody else in the room. And to me, that's really important when it comes to niche, because if I wanna smell like everybody else, I'm gonna reach for Versace Dylan Blue, which was my scent of the day, or something like that. Enough rambling, guys. If you're gonna buy a fragrance from an indie house, you should definitely check out Zoologist. And if you do, you should definitely get Camel. Next up on the list is another fragrance from an indie house. The house we're gonna talk about is right here, Imaginary Authors, and the fragrance we're talking about is Cape Heartache. Cape Heartache transports me back to my childhood, memories of sitting in the woods, freshly waking up early in the morning, unzipping the tent, and then you smell that air, that breeze that comes in, the remnants of what was a fire from the night before, the smoky nature of that. You're gonna get the pine trees, you're gonna get the morning dew, the humidity in the air in South Louisiana, and it's just a fantastic and inviting smell. It's something that harkens me back to being a kid and just feeling so much more alive and so much more pain-free and debt-free. Man, I wish I could be a kid again. Cape Heartache has notes of Douglas fir, pine resin, western hemlock, violet leaf, and strawberry. You're gonna get a lot of the strawberry and a Christmas tree vibe. That's basically what this is gonna smell like to most people. It's gonna smell like a Christmas tree covered in strawberry marmalade. So guys, if that sounds fantastic to you, it's great because it sounds fantastic to me. It also has imaginary notes, which all of Imaginary Authors fragrances have, and the 2 are Old Growth and Mountain Fog. You should check out the line for sure. Check out their discovery set. It's called the Short Story Set. But if you don't, and you want to just blind buy one because you just feel excited like I do sometimes and you want to make bad decisions, go ahead and buy Cape Heartache. Usually people save the big heavy hitters for last, or the ones that they want to woo you with. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab whatever I grab. The fragrance we're gonna talk about now is from the house of Rosa Dove, and it's called Elysium. As you can see, this bottle is very low. I've used a lot of it, but I've also decanted out a little bit, because you know what? Your boy has got to make a little cash on the side. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pro tip, guys, if you want to afford niche bottles and you can't really afford them, and you want to get like half of a bottle but not a full bottle, just go ahead and buy the whole bottle, front the money, break it down in some 10 ml decants, go ahead and get in one of the Facebook groups and sell your 10 ml decants. That's how pretty much every reviewer does it, for the most part. Can't speak for everyone. This fragrance was shown to me by my buddy Chris Giorgio over at the channel Mr. Siage. He sent me a decant in the mail, smelled it, had to have it. Everything about this fragrance is right. It's mass appealing, and if you're getting into niche, it's a really, really easy transition. You're gonna get the vibe that you get from Dior Sauvage, Versace Dylan Blue, Bleu de Chanel, and all of those fragrances that are so mass appealing from the designer realm, but just niche quality with niche performance and a beautiful niche bottle. Go ahead and check it out, guys, if you haven't already. That's Rosa Dove's Elysium. Next on the list is my favorite oud fragrance. It's very linear. It's very transparent. There's not a whole lot to it, but it's a smooth and creamy and inviting oud. It doesn't smell like an elderly Middle Eastern man. It doesn't smell like the floor of a barnyard. Not saying those two are connected. It just doesn't smell like some people would find what would be off-putting. The fragrance we're talking about is Joe Malone's Oud and Bergamot. If you guys know me at all, I don't like buying retail. It's just like my buddy Cuba over at Cubaknow knows fragrance, or however you say his channel name. That guy always talks about not buying retail, and he's pretty much one of the people who helped me get educated on doing that. So now I try my best not to. But I was over in Texas on a job, and I stopped at the Dillard's over in Corpus Christi, and they had a Joe Malone booth, and I smelled this fragrance, and then pow. I had to buy it. What you're gonna get is exactly as it says, Oud and Bergamot. No, this is not Myrrh and Tonka, which is what everybody rants and raves from the Cologne Intense line. This is Oud and Bergamot. You're gonna get a fruity, zesty, creamy, balanced oud fragrance that's very alluring, and I think it's very seductive in my opinion. You can't walk into it feeling like you have no confidence. You're not gonna wear this and it just be super easy to wear. This is something that you have to know who you are and what you're about. And this right here will work wonders. And like I said, what's important to my list is you don't smell like everybody else. So go ahead and check it out if you wanna be unique and different. That's Joe Malone's Oud and Bergamot. Next on the list is the fragrance that knocked Aventus off the list because in my opinion, it's better than Aventus. Often I get criticized for that because people say, oh, it's synthetic and it's from a synthetic house and all they make is synthetic fragrances. But here's the kicker. No reformulations. Cheaper. Better looking bottle. Smells fantastic. Just as many compliments. The fragrance we're talking about is Scent of Peace for Him by Bond Number 9. This is either gonna make a few people very, very happy or a large majority of people who love Creed Aventus very unhappy. But when it comes to Creed Aventus, which as you've seen earlier I do own, I find that this fragrance takes the cake. As you can see, guys, it's less than half full. I wear the crap out of it. My buddy Michael James referenced this fragrance. He said, you need to get this. Your wife is gonna go crazy about it. And my wife loves this fragrance. I've gotten tons of compliments. I know people say that, but I was at Mardi Gras and random women walked up to me and complimented me. Maybe they were drunk. Maybe they think I just smelled really great because they smelled like puking beer. But guys, you know what? They gave me compliments. That's real stories, and this is a real fragrance, and you should definitely check it out and replace Creed Aventus with this if you're tired of paying way too much money, guys. Bond Number 9's Scent of Peace. Next up is the Creed fragrance that I reached for out of my Creed collection. It's the only one that I would have to say that I could not live without because it's definitely my favorite. The fragrance I'm gonna talk about is unique, it's inviting, and it's invigorating, and I love it completely. The fragrance we're talking about is Creed's Virgin Island Water. As you can see, the ones I tell you I love a lot, you can see a trend, guys. They're pretty low on the fill line. This fragrance right here evokes a transportation. It brings me to a different place. I feel like I smell fantastic. A lot of people say it smells like body lotion or suntan lotion, and some people say it smells like a mixed drink. Some people say it smells like a mixed drink filled with suntan lotion. I beg to differ. I feel like it's a tropical vacation getaway. It's very fruity, it's zesty. You're gonna get coconut, lots of coconut, but you're not gonna smell like anybody else in the room if you wear this fragrance. And people are gonna know that you're not wearing a crap ton of suntan lotion, especially if you're indoors. So they're gonna wanna know what it is you're wearing, and it'll start conversation at the least. Guys, the fragrance we're talking about and the fragrance you should reach for is Creed's Virgin Island Water. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about is a very low-key fragrance. It has been covered by a few bigger reviewers, but in my opinion, no one's talking about it enough because it's not often talked about in the fragrance community as a whole, and it's not very talked about in the media, mainly because it's from a new house and it's their very first fragrance. The fragrance we're talking about is Argos Calm. Argos Calm, in my opinion, is what Versace gone niche would smell like. Dior, YSL, Chanel, Tom Ford, they all have private lines, and if Versace had a private/exclusive line, I think their fragrance would smell a lot like this. So I don't know about you, but I didn't have the time to wait on Versace to finally join the trend. And when I first smelled this fragrance, I was completely encapsulated. This fragrance will work for you in any situation. I mean, literally. Got a flat tire on the side of the road? It'll work. Going to a wedding like I just did? It'll work. Got jury duty? It'll work. Trying to pick up a chick? It'll work. Wearing it to the office because it's easy to wear? It'll work. Morning, noon, day or night, summer, spring, fall, winter, it doesn't matter. It's crisp, clean, and inviting. Fantastic fragrance. You should go check it out if you haven't. Very, very easy to deal with. Go check out their website. I'm not just plugging them, guys. I ain't getting paid for this. It's hard to find if you don't know about it. So go to buy.argos.com, buy.argos.com, and check it out, guys. Argos Calm. Next one I'm going to talk about was another one suggested to me by my buddy Michael James. It's a fantastic mint fragrance. Most mint fragrances for some people are off-putting. Some people love Versace Eros, especially women, but when it comes to most people in the fragrance community, they stick their nose up and say, I will not wear that fragrance. Well, Versace Eros haters, look no further. If you want a mint fragrance that has longevity, massive projection, superb sillage, with only 5 to 6 sprays, I've worn this and it lasted an entire day and my clothes still smelled of it for 2 days later. Fragrance we're talking about is from État Libre d'Orange, if I say that right. You or someone like you. I don't have official notes because this fragrance notes have never been released, and honestly, I kind of like it that way. What I get is a fruity/zesty vibe. It's very like seltzery kind of smell, like bubbly, but it's full of mint. It's not a hint of mint, it's a York peppermint patty mint, strong mint. Not that it smells like a York peppermint patty, but it's got the strength and the projection of what that would smell like. This is like a vibrant mojito, but just with a little added extra something that I'm unable to put my finger on. If you're looking to smell, yet again, as Ron Burgundy says, unique New York, guys, you or someone like you will fit the bill. The next one up is one of my very first niche fragrance purchases. I actually also bought this at full retail price. My buddy Bradley over at the channel Triple Ink talked about it and he said it was his favorite fragrance from the house of Parfums de Marley. And a lot of people reach for Herod, Pegasus, Leighton. Never liked Pegasus, hate Leighton, but loved Herod. So I figured, man, I've got to smell this one too because he likes this one a lot. And the fragrance I'm talking about, guys, is Parfum de Marley Hapten. You're going to get a dense, rich, sweet, sophisticated, apple pie-like vibe. You're gonna smell better than every other man in the room. This is not a little boy's fragrance. This is not a, hi, my name is Slade or, you know, Axel, and I'm really cool and vibrant and young. This is, I'm a man, I'm wearing slacks and a nice button down, and I'm important, so you should know me. As with every other Parfums de Marley bottle, it's heavy as hell. You can literally do curls. You could probably break open that emergency glass in front of the fire thing, you know, you break in case of emergency. Literally, you would just take the cap off and just toss it. Boom, done. Ready to spray anything. You might actually destroy the fire hydrant from the impact of this bottle, but I mean, it's fantastic. The bottle's beautiful. It's black and gold like my Saints. Guys, it's just great. Go check it out. Hapten. I saved what I would say for me as of now, the best for last. This is a fragrance that no one is talking about. And before I filmed this video, I was so excited about filming it to talk about it, but my buddy Mark at Rosa 8 did a whole video on it, his first impression. He talked about this house and how it's a great niche fragrance house, especially being super affordable. The presentation is beautiful, and it's probably one of my favorite fragrances, and I've only had it for like a week and a half, but man, is it spectacular. The fragrance I'm talking about is Fig by Malone. Now, Rosa 8 will say Molinard, or however he says Molinard. I don't really know. It's super French, so I'm gonna just say Molinard because that's kind of what it looks like to me. Kind of like this looks like Fig, even though it's spelled differently. I don't know. But look at that bottle, guys. It's so beautiful. It's so elegant. You got the encrusted insignia on the top, the gold lettering with the nice label. I mean, this is really beautiful. $65 retail. Fantastic. I'm pretty sure you're well aware the main note in this fragrance is going to be Fig. There's a few other notes. Guys, I'm just gonna stick to what I know. This, in my opinion, is the niche version of Banana Republic's Vintage Green. And we all know how much I love that fragrance. So you know I must really like this one. I've got to give credit where credit is due. My buddy over at the channel Scentsense on Instagram told me all about this fragrance house. He constantly posted it and hyped it. He's really good about giving out information about fragrances you may not hear about. You should definitely go and check it out, guys. That is a fragrance that is worth every penny. They have other ones like Patchouli, Amber, Patchouli Vanilla. Great fragrance house. Check them out. That's Malone, and the fragrance is Fig. All right, guys, that about does it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and tag a few fellow reviewers. Thank you for sticking around this long. I'm gonna go ahead and tag my buddy Muhammad over at the channel, Mr. Top 10 Scents. It's kind of how he talks. I think it's pretty funny. He's a real good buddy of mine. I talk to him on the daily. Muhammad, I'm gonna challenge you to do both a designer list and a niche list because you haven't done either yet. Another person I'm gonna tag boggles my actual mind that he has not been tagged for either one of these, because in my opinion, when it comes to the fragrance community on YouTube, no one is more stylish, cooler, and suave than my boy Jesse aboayge. So Jesse, I want to see both, bro. I want to see your niche list and your designer list because I know you always come live and direct. I'm gonna go ahead and tag a guy who hasn't been doing many videos lately. He's kind of been busy with life, and he's also had some computer problems, but I know he's coming back, and I'm hoping this time when I tag him, he does it, because I've done it in the past, but I'm holding on to hope. I'm holding on to hope, E over at Simply Put Scents. I challenge you, bro. Show us what you think. What would be your top 10 list for designer for life and niche for life? You've been a great inspiration to me, and I just would really be overwhelmed and overjoyed and flattered if you'd go ahead and take this tag. Last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and tag my guy, Cuba. Cuba is such a cool dude. I know he comes off as brash, but he's, as he called us, a entertainer. I like to think that me and him are cut from that same cloth. We're not all about breaking down the notes and telling you who made it and what year and how the ingredients were gathered with a fine-tooth comb. We like to talk about how passionate we are about fragrances, and that's exactly what he does. And in my opinion, when it comes to that, no one does it better. So Cuba, go ahead and let me hear what your top 10 niche for life and your top 10 designer for life would be. I'll be waiting, and I'm gonna blow up your Cuba car chat until you do this. That's going for you, bro. Okay, guys, enough tagging and enough rambling. This has been a long video, but if you stuck it out, thank you so much. If you like the video, guys, go ahead and like the video. If you don't, I understand. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think should have made the list, what would make your list, and what on this list you think should be out of there. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and every time a video comes out, it'll fall directly in your feed. If you want to take it a step further, guys, go ahead and ring that notification bell, smash the notification bell, bang that notification bell, do whatever you want to that notification bell. Just make sure you clicked it. That way, when my videos come out, you'll be the first to know. As always, y'all know what it is, guys. I'll smell you later.